entrepreneurs, and visionaries. Welcome to another Monday Night Live training, where your journey to business success accelerates. Join us for insights, strategies, and tools to elevate your business while keeping your budget in mind. It's time to transform your passion into profit. Your host, Corey von Bill Foster, is about to take the stage. Get ready to be inspired and empowered. The future of your business starts now.
All right. Hello. Welcome to another Monday Night Live. So excited. Guys, I'm going to let you know I had to pre-record this because I don't know if you can see it, but your girl is sick. And I was like, just in case I have a coughing fit or a sneeze fit, I didn't want you guys to have to listen through that. So hopefully I'll be able to go through this from start to finish with no issues. I'm not going to have my face on the whole time because even though I still look cute now. It's just a little distracting for me because I'm all splotchy and I just don't care to see that for 30 minutes. But hello, I'm still excited to be here, guys. Y'all, the devil trying it. But I'm so excited to be here for another Monday Night Live. Thank you guys for joining us, whether you are watching this live or whether you're watching the replay. I appreciate you. And I totally understand that some of you have not been getting the notifications. Facebook is trying us, guys. So the only thing I can recommend is if you're in the Facebook groups with us, or if you are on LinkedIn, you should be able to go to the event section and RSVP so that you will definitely get the reminders. That's all I can tell you. Also, remember that the replays will always be available on YouTube, and we also go there live at 6 p.m. So if nothing else, you got a way. You can definitely pop on YouTube and see us. You can definitely watch replays there. You definitely can RSVP. There's not much else we can do on our end, but we're going to be here. Rain, shine, snotty or not, we're going to be here. And today is no different. Today's topic is how to set micro goals that move you forward. We're going to stop being in this dream state and move into an action state. A lot of you spent last year, I ain't trying to call no names, but you spent a lot of last year really being about this idea of like, let me figure this out. Let me think about it. Let me work through it. Let me feel through it. And this year, I want you to get into an action state where you are moving forward, where you are implementing, where you are getting things done. All right. So if that sounds like something you need to be getting into, then you are in the right place. But before we dive in to all the juicy stuff, this week, if you're going to be in Georgia, I would love to see you. I will be there for a couple of days. I already know a few of you guys I'm going to see. I'm excited. For some of you, it's been a while. For some of you, I've never got to see you in person, so I'm super excited about that. Every time I travel, it's like, yay, I get to see folks. Like, I get to see people's legs. I told a good friend, we've only been really talking virtually as accountability partners for months now, for like 6 months. And so when I went up to Maryland, we got to kind of like see each other. And I was like, you got legs. Because it's like, yeah, we're in these little boxes so much. And while I'm very appreciative that we have this ability, right? We have this technology. I'm also so just humbled by the experience of getting to see you guys in person. So hopefully I get to connect with more of you this year. If you're not going to be in Georgia, but we'll still be out and about. I'll also be in Florida in April, and I have some more travel plans throughout the year. I'll let you know. But guys, a little bit about us before we dive into the topic today. If you didn't know already, I am Corey von Bill Foster. I'm a speaker, trainer, and I am a business coach that specializes in implementation, basically getting it done. Right? Get out of that thinking mindset mode and just get it done. And then I'm also the CEO of iRock Marketable Business Solutions, which is a small business marketing firm based right here in Virginia. But we service amazing clients from coast to coast. That includes clients like coaches, consultants, speakers, authors, and more. We love our service-based entrepreneurs, and we help them through our amazing coaching programs where we have one-on-one coaching, group coaching, courses, and more. And then we also have our marketing side, which has our done-for-you services, where we have anything from logos to websites, all the way down to the full-blown social media management. So again, if that sounds interesting to you, you are again in the right place. Every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, rain, shine, or anything in between, we are here with you doing our Monday Night Live series where I do my best. I do my best to give you guys what I think will help you in this season of life for your business. If you're in our private community, you have access to replays or past Monday Night Lives. Also, if you're in our private community or paid client, you can check out the portal and you'll be able to see tons of Monday Night Lives. This is not new. Like, I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. We have gone solid for 2 years. We're working on our 3rd year of Monday Night Lives. I love consistency. I will tell you guys, because some people are like, oh, I don't know if I could do that. And it's like, you'd be surprised. I will travel somewhere and people will be like, oh my God, you're Monday Night Live, or oh my gosh, like I need to get back on to watching those. Like, people do tune in, and I find that there is a direct correlation between my pockets and these Monday Night Lives. So if you start really being consistent in implementing your going live or your emailing or whatever the case may be, your marketing strategy, you will see results. But all right, let me pop up these slides. So what are we talking about tonight? Like I said, we're going to be talking about moving from this kind of, I call it dream state, because you're saying you got goals, but you don't really have any plans really to implement these goals and to get it done. So we're going to move from that dream state to doing daily action. So how to set micro goals that move you forward, because we don't want to always have these humongous goals that are just so hard to get to, so far from our reality. We want to ensure that the goals that we are setting are actually attainable. So let's dive in. So what are we going to talk about tonight? And I'm going to take myself off the screen, y'all, so I can see, and so I can cough if I need to. If I need to put some tissue on my nose, I can do that too. So, but I'm here. All right. So what are we going to talk about tonight? Breaking down goals into actionable daily steps, discover tools for tracking progress, and mastering consistency for long-term success. Excuse me. And I think that if you don't get anything else out of this presentation today, the understanding that you need to learn to be consistent is going to be of the utmost importance. The other stuff, yes, it's important to break down your goals. It's important to have the daily steps. It's important to have tools to help you get to those goals. But more importantly than anything else is consistency. So please, 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 please make sure that you are doing that. All right, so my first question for you today, and again, if you're watching this live, if you're watching the replay, please do put this in the comment section, because I want to know. I want to get in your business. I want to know what's going on. All right, so first question of the day. Do your big dreams ever feel overwhelming? Like you don't know where to start? What if I told you that daily micro goals could make them achievable? Right? So think about it. You got these big, humongous goals. Sometimes, I know, at least for me as an entrepreneur, and I've talked to clients, so I know I'm not the only one out here that feels this way. But sometimes we have just such lofty goals. I think most entrepreneurs, to our friends who are not entrepreneurs, we look kind of crazy because we really believe in almost the impossible. We believe that, us from wherever we, are from, with whatever circumstances we're coming into the world with, we believe that we can make some massive impact, right? And others are like, oh, somebody can do it, but it's not me, right? This is so beyond me. And it's like, no, we can do this. I can do this. And so do you have those big dreams, but you feel overwhelmed, right? Because that's totally normal. And I want to know about that. I want to know, do your big dreams ever feel overwhelming? Like you don't know where to start? Because that really can make you not be able to achieve, right? Because you're like, dang, I want this so bad, but I don't know, right? That question hits you. And then sometimes that feeling alone, that overwhelmed feeling, keeps you from ever getting started. So I want to tell you today that if you can break those goals down into daily micro goals, I promise you, you will make those goals more achievable. They will seem a lot less overwhelming. All right. Oh, goodness. Sorry, y'all. Look, y'all ain't behind the scenes. I'm over here fighting for my life. All right. So tonight we're going to unlock the power of micro goals. You're going to learn how to turn your big dreams into small, actionable steps. You're going to be able to track that progress like we talked about earlier. And again, what's the key word for tonight? You're going to be able to stay consistent. That's the big one right there. So let's go ahead and dive in. So first, we have to understand that we need to break down our goals into these daily action steps. And if you haven't heard me talk about goal setting before, you might be like, what? What's that? I'm big on action steps, action items, whatever you want to call them. But these are those tasks, right, that you need to do. We got to get out of the dream state, like, oh, the goal, like it's in the ethers. And we got to say, what do we actually need to get done? What do we actually need to implement? And this may be you implementing, this may be delegating out to team, but somebody got to get this work done. So let's talk about that. So when you think about setting these action steps towards your goals, the first thing you need to do is start with the end in mind. The thing that I find a lot of people get stuck on is they will go into their office or sit out at Starbucks with their laptop to work, and they'll be like, okay, what do I want to do for the day? What do you mean? What do you want to do for the day? It's so important to say, well, wait a minute. What was my goal? Right? What was that yearly goal? Excuse me. What was that yearly goal? What was that quarterly goal? What was that monthly goal? And then saying, okay, in order for me to get to that monthly goal, what do I need to do? So for instance, if you're saying, okay, I'm a speaker, right? And in order for me to be fully booked and be able to pay my bills and do all the things, I need to get 12 speaking gigs, or at least one speaking gig a month, right? Roughly. If that is the goal, then what do we need to do to get that? Do we need to connect with a certain number of people in our network? Do we need to go to events? Do we need to pitch? Do we need to apply? Do we need to do additional work to have a budget to possibly pay people for things? Do we need to practice? Do we need to make presentations? What do we need to do to be able to achieve that big goal? So start with the end in mind, because if you know what the end is, then it should be a lot easier to figure out where you should be prioritizing those action steps on a daily basis. Because so many people will say they have these big lofty dreams. They'll tell me, and I'm like, okay, cool. And then from day to day, they doing stuff like worrying about a logo. It's like, that's the least of our worries. That is the least. Don't nobody care. The logo's job is just so that your brand is recognizable. We don't care. If Target can roll with a dot, right? A Target, you're fine. We got to move on because we got bigger fish to fry. And so again, start with the end in mind. What goals did you set? And then say, okay, based on these goals, what actions do I need to take to actually get there? Right? Again, we can do another example. If you have a goal to get a certain number of clients, let's say 10 clients, right? You should know. Or if you don't know, then the first month or first quarter needs to be, trying some different things out to find out. But if you do know how much work it takes for you to get a client, then that's the work you should be doing. So if it takes you one webinar and one webinar month plus at least 10 calls to get a new client, then that means in order for you to get 10 clients, you need to maybe run that webinar more than once. You may need to make sure that your schedule is booked with, at least to get 10 clients. What is that? 40? I can't do that math, but a lot more calls so that you can convert. So again, knowing your numbers is going to be important for this. But again, if you start from scratch, you're like, I don't know my numbers to even do that. You got to start somewhere. So you put a system in place. You say, okay, I'm going to try this webinar thing out, and then look at the data. You see, I got a webinar. I got 100 people show up. Cool. Out of those 100 people, 10 people booked a call. Now you know your conversion rate. And then if you know you close 1 out of 10 people, then, hey, now you backtrack and say, okay, well, if this is what it takes to get one client, I need to then 10x it to get 10 clients. Okay, hopefully that made sense, y'all. But between the coughing and everything else, hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, start with the end in mind. Next, you want to prioritize tasks directly that align with your goals, right? prioritizing is important because we only have so much time in a day, right? We don't have unlimited time, and a lot of us at this level don't have a limited team. So we may have a lot of things we wish we could do, but we can't do it all. It is what it is. We cannot do it all. And a lot of times we get stuck in the weeds because we're trying to do it all. And it's like, no. Prioritize. And I've talked about this before. It's so much better for you, and you're more likely to get things done if you just pick 3 things per day. 3 things per day. Now, some of you might be like, well, I want to do more. Well, the cool part about it is once you do those 3 things, if you got more time and you're filling up to it, you can always add more. But if you definitely prioritize 3 main things to do every day, then you're able to actually feel great because you get it done. And if 3 is too many, start with 1 thing and build as you can. But I find that people are a lot more productive when they go with 3 tasks, 3 big priorities per day, than doing 5 and 10. Because believe me, I used to be that person that had 20 things on my list, and then at the end of the day feeling like crap because only 2 things got done. And I realized because I was trying to do too much, I would get sidetracked. It would feel overwhelming because now I'm like, dang, halfway through the day, only 1 thing's gotten done. But if you only had 3 things to do, and by midday only 1 thing got done, then hey, you only got 2 more things left. Right? So it's about really setting yourself up for success by saying, hey, I'm going to just prioritize 3 things. And again, making sure it aligns back with the goals you set. And then the last step is going to be to keep things small and achievable, right? If you know, so I can't laugh, but I shouldn't laugh, I should say. If you know that you are not great at making graphics and, editing videos, all that visual design, graphic design stuff, maybe that shouldn't be a goal for you, right? Maybe that's something we need to just say outsourcing, because if you're going to spend a crazy amount of time trying to get this accomplished just so that you feel like you did something, by the time you finish making it, you can be too tired to post it. Or by the time you post it, maybe the trend is already over, or you've missed an opportunity, or you can't keep up with the rate in which you make things versus how much you need to post. Or heck, now you've taken up all this time and you didn't get to do all the other stuff that was really important for you to do to get to your goals because you spent all this time working on something that wasn't in your zone of genius. So it's important that when you go about thinking about what action items and what tasks you want to do, you think, what's in my wheelhouse? And then when you decide that, keep those ideas small and achievable. Let's do another example. If you're writing a book, if you've never written a book before, don't say, I'm going to write, 2 chapters a day. Baby, how about we going to write, 200 words a day? Right? Is that more manageable? We gonna write for an hour, right? So break it down into things you actually know you can achieve, because the cool part about how our minds work is as we start achieving things, even if it's small, we get that hit of like, oh, we got it accomplished. That dopamine, like, yay, look at us, we doing it. And then we can add to it because our results really push our confidence level to do more and more and more. But the opposite can be true. If you set too lofty of goals and then you don't accomplish it, then you start getting that negative feedback and you're like, dang, man, I just ain't getting nothing done. I'm in the weeds. This sucks. I guess this may not be for me. And then you're stressed and you give up, or you feel just crappy about the whole process of being an entrepreneur. And entrepreneurship is too hard for you to feel crappy every day. So keep it small, keep it achievable, and then build from there. Excuse me. Let's go to another question. All right. What's one big goal you've been putting off? I asked you this because I want to brainstorm some micro steps with you that you can take. And I don't want you to take these steps in the next 2-3 weeks. I want you to think of something you can do tomorrow to move yourself forward. I think too often we try to say, well, I'll start fresh at the beginning of the month, or the beginning of the quarter, or the beginning of the year. Like, come on, man. We can do some stuff tomorrow. Heck, we can do some stuff today. So think of one big goal you've been putting off, and then break it down into those micro steps, and then do one of those tomorrow. That's my challenge. Do one of those things tomorrow. And I want you to put a comment in there. I want to know what you're going to do. Because you can lie to yourself. I know I've done it before, but you can lie to all of us, right? Because the cool part is that you can come back and be like, yo, I did it. And we can be like, yay, and cheer each other on, because that makes me happy. That's where I get my hit of dopamine, because I love seeing other people doing their thing. So please comment what's one thing you're going to do tomorrow that's going to be connected to your goal. And then when you do it, come back. Let us know so we can cheer you on. All right. Now I'm big on like implementing. So I don't want you just to feel like, oh yeah, I'm gonna set some micro goals. How are we gonna help you do that? How are we gonna help you be consistent? Because I said that was the biggest part. Plenty of people can say they're gonna have some goals and they be in their head, but how are we gonna be consistent, especially if you are starting to maybe have an assistant or a VA, because you're going to be delegating some things out and you need to start getting in the habit of having some type of system. So 3 kind of types of tools to maybe think about. One are like digital apps, right? So a lot of project management tools are really great. I love Trello. I know a lot of people like Asana and other platforms like that. Nothing wrong with that. Even if you wanted to do like a Google Calendar or something of that nature, totally cool with that. Anything that you can put task in, especially if you can put the bigger task and then see the breakdown of it and actually be able to see your progress, I'm all for that. I love these tools. A lot of these tools can be free or very low cost. A lot of these tools can be shared with your team as you grow, which allows you to also stay on top of what they're supposed to be doing to make sure that the goals and the projects that you set actually get accomplished. Second tool is simple paper. I know for me, even though I love tech and software and systems, I love to have a paper planner. I actually have one right here on my desk. It's here every single day. I've gone through so many different types of planners. So Cultivate What Matters planner, Happy planner, Eric Conjure planner, Passion planner, Panda planner. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. And I realize I gotta write it down sometimes. I also love to-do lists. I like sticky notes. I like whiteboards. Whatever works for you. I talked about this earlier. I had a gig back in the beginning of January, and something I made sure I spoke to the audience about is, hey, I'm going to give you lots of tools and strategies, but the biggest takeaway is for you to figure out what works for you. Give something 30 days, try it. If it doesn't work, get rid of it quickly and try something else. Some people are like, I would lose that. I'll never look at the paper again. Then that ain't for you. Maybe you need a digital planner or something like that, right? Some people are like, I just ain't good with tech. I'm out and about. Sometimes I don't have internet access. Then maybe paper stuff will work better for you. But figure out what works better for you and stick to it. And then last but not least, accountability systems. Like I said, people will people, right? They will lie to themselves. Woo, y'all, I'm fighting for my life over here. Excuse me. But yes, people will lie to themselves. And so it's important sometimes, not even sometimes, it's important most of the time, I find, to have some type of accountability. And oftentimes I know we're like, well, I got a spouse or whatever. If they're not entrepreneurs, sometimes they're not going to be your best accountability partner, because they're going to be like, well, at least you tried, honey, or it's okay, or, it's not a big deal. Like, no, you need somebody in your profession, in your industry, whether it be a coach, a mentor, or accountability partners. You need somebody to hold you accountable. And make sure that you go into it with the intent of saying no. Ooh, let me take a breath. Make sure you go into it and telling these people, this is what I need, right? Let them know where you usually fail. Yeah, I'll say it, or maybe I'll make too big of goals, or I don't stick to it, I fall off. Let them know to hold you accountable. I've been in groups where we have to kind of do like a reality check where I'm like, hey, we gotta make sure we're actually holding each other accountable. Sometimes it becomes like a check-in where you just really like seeing people. You're like, hey, yay, how you been? You good? Your mama doing good? All that. Like, no, this is accountability. And sometimes I'm just gonna be honest, it's important to just pay for it. Pay for the accountability, because when you pay for the accountability, one, you as the payee, right, payer, you're gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna get my money's worth, so I'm definitely gonna come accountable. But also, now this person is not like your friend, right? This person is gonna be real with you, hard with you, because you're paying them to be, right? If you invest in a fitness coach, right, they're not gonna be like, oh, you didn't work out at all this week, poor you. I mean, I get it. They're gonna be like, yo, we had a goal, now you haven't got there. And I'm not saying they're gonna beat you up, but they're going to hold you accountable. So make sure you have an accountability system in place so that you are truly held accountable. All right, next question. All right. So, what tools or systems have you tried for tracking your progress? I want you to share your favorites or one you may want to try in the chat. And I do this because I think it's important to share resources. I can give you, again, all things I've used, things my clients have used, but new stuff comes out all the time. So, I want to know what systems have you tried? Right? And what systems are you maybe interested in trying, but you don't know a lot about it, or you don't know people who've tried it before? Throw it in there. Let's start building a rapport where we can share, like, hey, yeah, I tried that and it was trash. Or I tried it, was amazing. I love it. I still use it to this day. Let's do that because that will help everyone out. We're trying to save money. I ain't trying to have y'all be buying a whole bunch of stuff and this stuff be whack, right? All right. So let's talk some strategy right here. Because again, we want to get to that consistency. So strategy 1 to help you out, stay consistent. Create a routine. Routine can be as simple as from 8 to 12, I work on my business, and after lunch, I work in my business. Simple enough, right? But create a routine that connects to your goals to help you get them done, especially these bigger goals, these yearly goals, these quarterly goals. If you're pitching yourself, then be like, okay, I'm pitching this many times. I'm sending these emails. I write emails during these times because if you're blocked that time out, you're more likely to actually do it during those times. If you're just like, well, I feel like I can, do this right now, and maybe later I'll do this. Tomorrow you're going to feel like doing it at that time, and now you're not consistent, right? So something that we do and my team does is when we work with social media clients, we have deadlines, right? We set a routine with them and say, hey, all your content requests need to be in by the 10th. And then it lets the next person in line know all the wording for our clients to approve needs to be done by a certain date. Then the clients have to approve it by a certain date. Then the people who make the graphics have to do it by a certain date, right? The video editors have to be done by a certain date. And then our team goes in and schedules out a month of content by the 1st of every month, right? We've created a routine. It keeps our clients consistent. It keeps us consistent with them. It helps them get towards their goal of actually being consistent online. And you can do this for yourself. And say, hey, once a week, I'm going to dedicate to calling past clients, or, I'm going to schedule myself to listen to a book in my industry to learn, this amount of time or every day or whatever the case may be, but create some routine that you can actually follow. Strategy 2, pair your goals with existing habits. If y'all was here last year at the end of the year, I still be failing, and it's cool to show y'all. I don't mind to fail. Sometimes it's important. But last year, I was like, I can do lives, not an issue. But I really am struggling with getting some steps in. So there was several videos of me getting up in the morning in our private community, being in my gym downstairs, and being on the treadmill, trying to talk to you guys while also being live. I was habit stacking. I was trying to say, okay, well, I know that a goal for me is to be more consistent with, doing my lives. I don't have an issue doing them. It's just finding time. And I also wanted to lose some weight. Sorry, I'm laughing because y'all, it was bad. It was real bad. And so I paired those habits together. I knew I would do the lives. A lot of times I would do them before the walking. I would do them. I was like, put my makeup on. I was like, all right, I'm going to move this to doing it in the gym. And here we go. And it's funny, I actually was going to do that again this year because I have a row machine now that's in the house. And y'all, first I've had this cold for most of January, but I was like, I can't breathe and work out and talk. Like, it's not going to happen. So we're not going to pair those two things. But yes, pair some existing habits with what you're trying to achieve. So if you are good at something, or you've been able to do something consistently, habit stack that with something else, so that it's a little easier. That's how simple it is. It's just a little easier to actually get it done. And sometimes it'll work. Sometimes you have to find another pairing. For me, walking and talking was not the best pairing. And that's okay. You won't know until you try. And also, sometimes in a season of life it works, and sometimes in a different season it doesn't. Because if y'all are real OGs, back in the day when I used to live in the hood, I used to do a live on Facebook. When I walked we had like a pier with water. I would walk through the neighborhood and walk and do my live. And then when I turned around to walk home, I would go live on Instagram. And that did work. But outside kind of leisurely strolling is not the same as being on the treadmill. And so, yeah, it does not work in this season of life for me. Just wanted to throw it out there. All right, so that was the creative routine. Next, pair your goals. Oh no, that was pair your goals with existing habits. All right, lastly, embrace progress over perfection. This is a good one because so many people are afraid to put things out or to do things because they feel like they're not going to be perfect. I am big on walking that walk for my clients so that they can see it. Like today, hot mess, right? I mean, you're still getting the information, but I'm just coughing, hacking. There's like a pile of tissues next to me. I don't look all cute like I usually do because I was like, I'm not gonna put on makeup because I'm just gonna sneeze it off, right? And I could have chosen, right? Plenty of people do. They're like, yeah, if I'm sick, I'm not doing. Like, I'm a rest. Like people in my life always tell me, like, just go rest. And I'm big on like, hey, this is something that I like, a goal that I have, and I'd rather have the progress of doing it than the idea of it has to be perfect for it to go. Like, guys, I'm gonna be real. Matter of fact, I'm gonna pop on the screen for a second. Hopefully, that don't look too bad. But y'all see, there's like a little virtual bookshelf back here. At the end of the year, last year, we bought some really cute backdrops. Y'all got to see one of them like the first week in January because I was like, oh, I want this to look so, cool. We got new studio lights, and one is on right now, but it ain't really where I want to be. We got up lights, like the whole 9 yards. And I was like, because I want this to be perfect. And at first I was a little like sad because we weren't using it yet. But again, I've been sick. The first week I traveled, after that I've been sick. And I'm like, you know what? Again, it's getting it done over perfection. I don't think most people care that it's a virtual background. I think if I was just sitting on my bed, because I was like, maybe I'm gonna just do this in my bed because I'm tired today. I don't think y'all would have cared about that either. And I think sometimes we just get stuck in our heads about, how this needs to look before it goes out, right? Some of y'all been working on an ebook for like 2 years that ain't never came out. And it's like, come on now, just put it out there, right? Progress over perfection, especially too when it comes to building up habits. So yeah, you want to, do a reel every day. And maybe you did one on Monday, maybe you did one on Tuesday, one on Wednesday, and then Thursday you fell off. You're like, oh no, right? Don't quit because it wasn't perfect. Just hop back on and you'll build those muscles, you'll build those skills, and you'll build the habits to be able to be consistent. So I really want y'all to really think about things with times where you're like, really struggling to get over that perfectionist mentality, and just go ahead and get it done. You hear me say that a lot this year. Just get it done. Because the cool thing about our industry right now, especially, is that you really always got a chance to kind of go back and revamp something, do something else. I know sometimes it's like, I don't want to do that, right? But you can. I had to tell a client this about a course. Like, let's just get it out there. Let's see how people like it. Let's see what questions they have that maybe aren't answered. And then we can always record it again. They're like, record it again? Yes, record it again. It'd be all right. Like, let's get it out here, because you trying to figure it all out now is just delaying the progress, and now you ain't making no money, right? Time is going by. I've had clients where some stuff just never came out because they were just like, but it ain't right yet. It ain't right. And that's why your competitors are passing you by. That is why your competitors are passing you by. We gotta be real about that sometimes. That's why the person that you like, they ain't better than me, my stuff's way better than them. That may be true, but they out here getting it. Progress over perfection. Okay, so definitely keep that in mind. All right, we almost done, y'all. Because y'all don't try to stay to 30 minutes. We a little over, so we're gonna quickly go through this. What's one micro goal you can commit to doing daily for the next week? So 7 days. All right, you ain't got to tell me if you don't want, but you can if you like. Write it down. And definitely, if you can, if you feel brave, tag us on social media, sharing it with us, sharing the journey. Maybe you want to do a story every day. Like, tag us and be like, hey, Corey challenged me. I'm going to do this. Because I definitely have done that. Be like, yo, my coach challenged me to do this thing. I did it. Here it is, right? Whether it's amazing or not, here it is. And usually I will say I get some pretty good feedback from doing that. All right, so that is most of what we have for tonight. So I do have a challenge for you, right? One micro goal you commit to doing daily. That's what I was talking about for the week. Write it down, tag us. And then, like I said, we'll recap real quick. Today, we talked about breaking down your goals into actionable daily steps. We talked about different tools we could use, whether they were digital, paper, or anything in between. And then we talked about being consistent for that long-term success, right? Those are the most important things. All right, so guys, that is it for today. Remember, I rock, you rock, we all rock. And I love to talk to you more in the comment section. Bye, guys.
In the journey of entrepreneurship, success is often about having the right guidance and tools at your fingertips. Welcome to iRock Marketable Business Solutions, your compass to business excellence. We understand that as a service-based small business owner, your path to success is unique. That's why iRock offers a wide range of coaching and consulting services tailored to your needs. Imagine gaining the knowledge you need from the comfort of your own home. Explore our quick on-demand webinars, courses, and toolkits designed to accelerate your business growth. But we go beyond that. Join our vibrant community in our group coaching programs, or experience personalized guidance with our one-on-one coaching and consulting services. At iRock, every program comes with incredible bonuses. These bonuses are designed to support you on your journey, helping you bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Some of our bonuses include expert speaker sessions, group Q&A calls, guides, checklists, scripts, and more. Ready to supercharge your business journey? Explore our coaching and consulting services. Get the guidance and tools you need to reach your goals. Empower your business with iRock Marketable Business.